I mean, he spent 30 years in federal prison, right?
No, 29 years in state.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh- I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Psychic Plumage. And today we have with us Harvey Seidel. He is an author, a speaker. I mean, he spent 30 years in federal prison, right?
No, 29 years in state prison.
29 years in state prison. And for what charge?
Murder.
Okay, for murder. So you want to share your story about how all this come about? Because from what I understand, you were, this is something that happened for a very particular and sensational reason.
Right. My brother was being abused by a distant cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew about the physical abuse, but I didn't know about the other abuse. And when I found out, and I don't know how long it's been going on, for all I know, that could have been the first time, or it could have been several times. I don't know. But he told me not to say anything, but I had to say something, so I went and told my parents. They didn't believe me. They thought I just didn't like him, which I didn't. And so then a retired cop came to the house, and when he got away from the parents, I told him, and he just turned around and went back and told my parents.
Wow.
So nobody believed me.
Why do you think you just told your parents? How old were you at this time?
I was 17.
Okay, all right. So
my brother was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was 22. And they just didn't believe me. And so the intention wasn't to really shoot him at first. You know what I mean? It was during deer season, and I decided I was trying to build up the courage to talk to him and ask him why and all this. And when I came across him, it just ended up in an argument and pretty much him taunting me. And then I ended up shooting him.
So after you shoot him, how did it affect your psychology? Like, all right, like you've killed someone who's abusing your brother. Like, how did that hit you mentally over the next several weeks or months?
Right away, I fell to my knees and I was crying. I just couldn't believe it came to this, And I mean, it still affects me. I took a human life, and that's something I can't take back, But the thing of it is, I regret what I did because of all the people it hurt. But I do not regret protecting my brother.
Of course, of course. And so you shoot this guy, and you get arrested. How long after? You turn yourself in, or what happens?
I kind of turned myself in. I kind of didn't. I mean, they was coming out there talking to me every day, but eventually they just kept pressing me and pressing me and pressing me, and so I wrote out a confession, and I think they was kind of surprised by it too. But they charged me with murder and armed criminal action, which I thought was the same charge twice. But
yeah,
it seems they're similar.
So what was I always think, like, number one, if someone did that to my kid, I wouldn't fault anybody, or someone did it to someone's kid. Like, in fact, some might say it's your duty to go do that. So I understand it's complicated, though. Couldn't you say, or maybe was your defense kind of like, oh, I saw red and yeah, I killed him, but I became so angry. I'm sorry.
That probably would have been the best defense. And I did tell him I was in an argument with him, but my lawyer told him, what led up to this, told the prosecutor, and the prosecutor says, well, even if he's telling the truth, he didn't do it in an act. He waited afterwards, hunted him down, and shot him. And so, they made it look like I tracked him down in the woods and shot him, when I was really I went out there to have a discussion with him. It might not have been a great idea when we're both hunting and both have guns to have a conversation like that serious out in the woods. But
did you think, when you were leaving, did you think to yourself, there's a small chance this guy I might get him today? Was that like a distant possibility in your mind?
Yeah, but not in that type of way. I'm thinking, well, if it comes to he's not going to listen, he's not wanting to, you know, I would just beat him. You know, he was a little older than me, so I figured I'd pick up a limb or something and beat him. I
Scary.
I was never thinking about shooting him, you know, until the last few minutes. And as it built up and built up, it started coming into my mind, you know. And then when he taunted me that one time, said I should come down there and do the same to you as I did to him.
Oh,
that's
man.
when I shot him.
Yeah. Did he just thought that he was like invincible or something? Or like, was this argument ongoing? Or because he would say that to a guy who's armed, you know, I guess he was armed too.
Yeah, he was armed too. And I guess he didn't think he was going to come to that either. You know, pretty much neither one of us did. Like I said, I should have never had a discussion, went out there in the woods and argued with him when we both had guns. It could have went either way, you know, but either way, it ended up bad, you know.
So yeah, I guess it would have been better if you would just legally, it would have been better if as soon as you heard it, you went over and did it. Like, I guess for you, because you tried to exercise some restraint, it was actually worse for you, because they said, oh, well, you know, he went out there and planned it, you know. I guess it would have been better if you just went and did it broad daylight.
Right, because with me going out there finding him, it made it look like I hunted him down and did that, you know.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure that that's what they were all thinking. And your brother, so your little brother finds out that his big brother is going to prison for, you know, at least a couple decades. How did he react to that? And what did he say to you after he found out that this happened?
When I told my parents about what had happened, he was pissed at me. He was mad.
Yeah.
And I guess because of shame or something. I don't know. But he was mad. And he said, I told you not to tell anybody. Well, when I shot the guy, he didn't seem so mad anymore. He's just more like, you know,
like, oh shit.
He just couldn't believe it. Yeah. It's hard to explain how he was thinking because, you know, he didn't say a whole lot, but
yeah,
he wasn't really mad. He was just like, you know what I mean?
So wow, like that's, you know, you did it. I guess he was more like, I guess he was in shock too. You know, your abuser is gone. He probably felt a whole bunch of emotions.
Yeah, he probably did because he's one of those type of people that sometimes it's hard to read, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're complicated people who are hard to read. And how long did your trial take?
It took not quite a year. And what happened though is they offered me 25 years, and I accepted it. But in the meantime, me and the guys I was in jail with, we tried to escape with my brother's help.
Okay.
So they took that plea off the thing, and they offered me another plea, life with, or I go to trial, and they're going to try to give me a max on everything. Man. So I went ahead and took that plea.
How late in were you nabbed for trying to escape? How much time did you have left?
No, this was while I was in the county jail. I hadn't been.
Oh,
you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I'd accepted the plea deal,
but
while I had accepted it, in the meantime, I was still trying to get out of the jail, you know.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are